Imagine a sports car that not only defied convention, but became an emblem of Japanese innovation. A car that redefines performance and passion for driving. This is the Mazda RX-7, a symbol of unconventional engineering powered by a Wankel rotary engine, a rare and fascinating design that took innovation to a whole new level. In this video, we'll explore in detail the evolution of the Mazda RX-7 from its birth in the 1970s to its iconic status today. The RX-7 story begins in the 1960s, when Mazda was experimenting with rotary engines, a technology invented by Felix Wankel. Mazda adopted this engine for its production models, culminating in the RX-3 and Cosmo, but it was the RX-7 that would put this technology on the global map. Launched in 1978, the first generation was Mazda's answer to the popularity of sports models such as the Porsche 924 and Datsun 240Z. The RX-7 was designed with one goal in mind: to deliver sporty performance in an affordable format. Its design was a combination of elegance and aerodynamics, featuring retractable headlights, an attractive novelty of the era. Under the hood was a 1.1-liter rotary engine, known as the 12A, developing 100 horsepower. It may not look impressive today, but thanks to its low weight and near-perfect mass distribution, the RX-7 stood out for its exceptional handling. But although the rotary engine was compact and light, fuel consumption was considerably higher than that of the piston engines of similar size. The RX-7's success wasn't just limited to the road. On the track, the RX-7 proved its potential, winning 1979 Daytona 24 Hours in its class. It was just the beginning of its success in motorsport.
The RX-7s, with their 5th and 6th positions overall, finished higher than any GTU machine in Daytona's history. They did this with nearly 70 cubic inches of displacement against Porsches with turbochargers and Ferraris with 12 cylinders.
The first generation RX-7 was a resounding success. Mazda has sold over 470,000 units globally. As the 80s progressed, Mazda redefined the model. The FB generation received redesigned bumpers, a standard 5-speed manual transmission that replaced the previous 4-speed, and an interior refresh. The RX-7 was offered with various optional packages, including the GSL package. This included disc brakes on all 4 wheels and a limited slip differential, significantly improving performance and safety. In later versions, Mazda introduced the 13B engine with electronic injection, which produced up to 135 horsepower, providing more power and efficiency. In certain markets such as Japan, a turbo variant of the 12A engine was also available, offering more power and quicker throttle response. This turbo version was appreciated by performance enthusiasts and foreshadowed the turbocharged RX-7 models of future generations. We are interrupting this video to invite you to become part of our community. Hit the subscribe button and activate the bell to receive our notifications. A like and comment are very helpful for the YouTube algorithm to recommend our content to other car enthusiasts. Thank you. The Mazda RX-7, or nicknamed the Japanese Porsche 944, came in an era where turbo technology dominated the automotive world. Compared to the first generation, the FC was a complete reinterpretation of the RX-7 concept, with a more sophisticated design, more aerodynamic lines, and an upgraded independent suspension, as well as a dynamic tracking suspension system, DTSS. The 1.3-liter 13B engine was now standard for all markets, and although the RX-7 would initially be offered with a 150 horsepower naturally aspirated engine, 180 horsepower and 200 horsepower twin-scroll turbo versions followed. The more powerful model could achieve a 0 to 100 km per hour time of 6 seconds and a top speed of 240 km an hour. In 1998, Mazda introduced a convertible version of the RX-7 FC, which included a soft top and a sleeker design. It was available in naturally aspirated and turbocharged variants. For Japan, Mazda created a limited edition of the RX-7 called the Infinity, with production limits to just 600 cars each year. Mazda introduced the 10th anniversary RX-7 in 1988 as a limited production model based on the RX-7 Turbo 2. Production was limited to 1,500 units and featured a monochromatic crystal white paint scheme. Models released after 1989 were modernized with small aesthetics and technical adjustments. For example, the 5 Series came with more power, 212 horsepower that could reach 0 to 100 km an hour in just 5.6 seconds. Moreover, the Mazda RX-7 FC continued the success of the previous generation on the circuits, dominating in well-known competitions such as IMSA GTU or 12 and 24-hour endurance races. Thus, Mazda decided to create a simplified version of the RX-7, the GTU model that had regular windows and no windshield wipers. In total, 1,100 GTUs were manufactured. All this made RX-7 FC quickly become popular among car enthusiasts due to its attractive design, powerful turbo engine, and tuning possibilities. When we think about the Mazda RX-7, the iconic image is undoubtedly that of the FD generation. Flowing lines and retractable headlights in perfect proportions turned the RX-7 into a symbol of the 90s. Launched in 1992, the third and final generation of RX-7 was a technological masterpiece. Under the hood was an improved version of the 13B REW engine, which, thanks to sequential turbines, developed up to 280 horsepower. The RX-7 FD could accelerate from 0 to 100 km an hour in about 5.1 seconds. The RX-7 FD had been hugely successful in motorsport, competing in competitions such as Super GT, Le Mans, and Japanese endurance racing. It quickly became a favorite of car culture around the world thanks to its appearance in films and video games such as the Fast and Furious series and Need for Speed. Mazda offered the RX-7 FD in a wide range of variants, including, in Japan, the RX-7 was produced as the base model Type S, the light sports model Type R, and Type RC, Type RB, A-Spec, and Touring X equipped with a 4-speed automatic transmission. In the North American market, the Mazda RX-7 was offered in base trim, with the R and Touring models offering the options of an automatic transmission. 1995 marked the final year of RX-7 production for North America as a result of a mix of economic factors, strict regulations, and changes in the automotive market. In 1995, Mazda launched the RX-7 SP in Australia, a high-performance edition designed for homologation in the Australian GT production car series races. Only 35 units were produced and boasted 277 horsepower and 357 Nm of torque. The RX-7 SP won Eastern Creek 12-hour in 1995, and in 2001, Mazda commemorated the victory with the Japan-exclusive Bathurst R version. From 1996 to 1998, a group of updated models known as the 7 Series cars were produced in right-hand drive only for the Japanese, Australian, New Zealand, and UK markets. The 8 Series cars were the last in line for the Japanese-only Mazda RX-7. But the most collectible of all RX-7s was the last model limited to 1,500 units. Called the Spirit R, it combined the best feature of the previous versions and is one of the most sought-after versions of the RX-7 today. The year 2002 marked the end of one of the most exceptional sports cars in history. With more than 800,000 units produced in total, the Mazda RX-7 exemplifies the courage to experiment with technology and create an affordable yet capable sports car. It impacts lives on and lived on with the Mazda RX-8, which followed in 2003, laid the foundation for many future engineering innovations. Although the RX-7 was officially discontinued in 2002, its spirit has not gone away. Mazda reminded enthusiasts of the RX dream car with the 2015 Mazda RX-Vision and 2023 Iconic SP concepts. Is Mazda still dreaming of bringing back the magic of the RX-7 in a contemporary form? What do you think? Let us know in the comment section below. And if you want to see the Mazda RX-8 evolution, encourage us with a like, subscribe, and comment to take this project as far as possible. Thank you.